Sir, is there a reason, you're not supporting your children more? And first off, is what she's saying true?
Well,
What does that mean?
sort of, yes, I do bartend for some celebrities sometimes.
So the answer is yes, that what she said is true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And but I mean, they have done good so far. I thought $500 would be good. I mean, they have been doing great. I mean,
You think $500 is enough to raise children, and you're making an additional $5,000 a month?
well,
Is that what you're saying?
yes, I bring them clothes, from time to time. That helps them,
That's
and,
called parenting.
Backpacks.
Parenting.
Laptops.
Parenting.
Yes, Your Honor. And I mean, honestly, being a bartender, my income is not fixed. So, I'm always saving for a rainy day. That's why I don't want to part with a lot of my money, my savings.
The noble duty of being a father. That sacred commitment to raising, educating, and most importantly, avoiding paying an extra dime. Imagine this, 3 kids, an extra $5,000 a month in tips, and yet he believes $500 is more than enough. Because obviously, raising 3 kids in 2025 costs about the same as a latte and a croissant at an airport.
You all may be seated. Miss Alma, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we are currently divorced, and he's paying me child support. And lately, he's been doing a lot of extra, he's a bartender, and he's been doing a lot of extra parties for professional sports figures and making a lot more money than what he previously admitted to when we first got our divorce. He's making like around an extra $5,000 a month in tips from his bartending gigs. And I just feel like with 3 kids, we need to increase the child support, and he's not agreeing with me on that.
Well, if what you're saying is true, I would agree with you too. We need to increase that child support amount. And you said how many children?
3.
3 children.
Here we have the mother, laying out the obvious. Her ex, a VIP bartender, has been stuffing his pockets with celebrity tips and, shockingly, forgot to mention it when calculating child support. An honest mistake, Court. Not like it's just a little extra cash. It's an additional $5,000 a month. But don't worry, he's been saving it for emergencies.
Okay. You said about $5,000 a month. And I have documents up here from your most recent court order. $500 a month
Yes,
for 3 children?
for 3 children.
Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, I just think that he's denying the fact that he's making this additional money every month, and I think it's obvious everything he puts onto the media, buying drinks for people and buying shots, and he's at these high-profile parties, and I just think that he needs to do what's right for our kids, and it's hard to take care of that many kids on $500 a month.
Right, right. Yeah, I would definitely agree. What about health insurance for these children?
They're on Medicaid.
Okay, all right.
Here he is, attempting his defense. My income isn't fixed. But it seems to be fixed enough for him to keep showing up in party photos with bottles that cost more than his kids' monthly support. Priorities, right?
Sir, is there a reason, you're not supporting your children more? And first off, is what she's saying true?
Well,
What does that mean?
sort of, yes, I do bartend for some celebrities sometimes.
So the
and-
answer is yes, that what she said is true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And but I mean, they have done good so far. I thought $500 would be good. I mean, they have been doing great. I mean,
You think $500 is enough to raise children, and you're making an additional $5,000 a month?
well,
Is that what you're saying?
yes, I bring them clothes, from time to time. That helps them,
That's
and,
called parenting.
Backpacks.
Parenting.
Laptops.
Parenting.
Yes, Your Honor. And I mean, honestly, being a bartender, my income is not fixed. So, I'm always saving for a rainy day. That's why I don't want to part with a lot of my money, my savings.
And then the judge steps in. $5,000 in tips and only $500 for your kids? But don't worry, he has a strategy. If I spend less, I save more. A brilliant financial move. If he were investing in real estate and not dodging his responsibilities.
I want to keep some of that money for the future. And
Your children's future.
well, yes, yeah, that too.
Right. So that means you shouldn't have a problem paying the additional amount based on your income.
Well, what if I lose my job, Your Honor?
What if I lose mine?
For me. Well, true, but I mean.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids.
Well,
Works
we got
both
3
ways.
kids. I mean, we got them.
Well, it
together,
feels like
right?
I have 3 kids. Since
Well,
you're not
I do
really
visit
doing it
them
apart.
from time to time. I was there last month. I took them for the entire weekend, and
Oh, you took them for one weekend. You took your children for one long weekend
yes, ma'am.
parenting.
Yes,
Right.
my
You're
job.
not going to get a medal for that. That's what you should do as a parent.
And now, the winning argument. But I buy them clothes and backpacks sometimes. Because obviously, a brand new backpack replaces rent, health insurance, food, and education. The science of family budgeting according to Bartender Budget Max.
You should take your children for long weekends. You should buy them backpacks. You should buy them laptops. You should buy their clothes. That's what a parent does. And that's not even a good parent. That's basic parenting. Good parenting goes above and beyond those things that I just said. You haven't said anything about going above and beyond. And based on what she's saying, these children are with her most of the time. Do you think about how her expenses increase with your children always being with her? $500? That's probably enough to cover groceries, if that.
Well, that might be true, but you have to consider this. I work almost every day, and
I do too.
I don't get a break. And parenting the kids, that takes a lot of effort, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm up for it. I'm tired, and so I have already taken a lot of time off. For those parties, for the celebrity parties, I have to work extra hours, and so
You haven't said anything that moved me. You just.
But the judge, who apparently has access to a calculator, reaches a brutally logical conclusion. You have 3 kids, not a savings account. So open that wallet and do the right thing. The result? Child support increased to $1,680 a month.
Gave a bunch of excuses, quite frankly. You didn't deny anything that she just said. So you are in agreement that you're making about $5,000 a month for these private parties, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. And it is true that these children are on Medicaid, correct?
Yes,
And you only have 3 children?
yes.
All right, so we're going to modify your child support today, Mr. Alma.
And that wraps up another episode of When Math and Logic Ruin Your Cheap Excuses. Lesson of the day: if you're going to flex on social media about how great you're doing, don't expect court not to notice. And if you think raising 3 kids costs $500 a month, well, let's just hope you're not an accountant. Oh, this one was an easy win. For reality, logic, and basic parenting responsibilities, the judge, in her infinite patience, had to sit through one of the weakest defenses ever, a bartender pulling in an extra $5,000 a month in tip, but still acting like child support was a donation instead of a legal obligation. At first, the man tried the classic, I don't have a fixed income excuse. Because bartending for high-profile celebrities is such an unstable gig, right? Funny how that instability never stopped him from buying expensive drinks and flexing on social media. But sure, let's pretend he's living paycheck to paycheck. Then came the backpack argument, a true masterpiece of financial genius. I buy them backpacks and clothes sometimes, he proudly declared, as if a backpack could magically cover food, healthcare, education, and rent. Meanwhile, the mother was sitting there doing actual math, realizing that $500 barely covers groceries, let alone the full cost of raising 3 kids. The judge didn't even have to try that hard. The man basically admitted to making way more than what he originally disclosed. And in legal terms, that's what we call a bad move. His financial records, his own words, and the fact that his children were on Medicaid all worked against him. He had no counter-arguments, just weak excuses wrapped in self-pity. So, who won? Well, let's see. 1. The mother? Absolutely. She proved her case, got the child support increased, and secured better financial stability for her kids. 2. The kids? Yes, finally, because now their father is legally required to contribute something closer to what he actually earns. The bartender dad, not so much. He walked in thinking he could charm his way out of responsibility, and walked out with a new financial reality. $1,680 a month, plus a gentle reminder from the judge that saving for the future should include his children's future, not just his own. So in summary, justice, logic, and basic parenting duties won. The real loser? A man who thought $500 was enough to raise 3 kids in 2025. And that's it for today's episode of Drama in Court, where everyone loses. Remember, folks, if you ever get caught in a mess like this, just think of this. A court order is the gift that keeps on giving. Hey, at least you don't have to face it alone. See you next time, hopefully with less drama.